Hello, Pio Pico Palomas. Today is Monday, October 26th. Today, I do not have a student with me as a co-host, but we will be joined by two co-hosts next week as we begin and kick off the month of November. So today is the last week of October, and I want to remind you that no one is perfect. That is why pencils have erasers, right? Use that eraser, learn from our mistakes, just try it. Don't strive for perfection, just strive for that growth. So just remember that as you're doing different things and activities this week, no one is perfect. It's okay to make mistakes. We just learn from those mistakes. This week, our author of the week is Monica Brown. Monica Brown is known by, she writes a lot of different biographies and a lot of prominent Latinos. So some of the books that you might have seen from her are some books on Pablo Picasso, Tito Puente, Celia Cruz. But she also has a couple of different other books that you may be interested, like, for example, Frida Kahlo and her Animalitos, or Waiting for the Biblioburro. Those are linked for you in our Flipgrid. So if you go to Flipgrid for Pio Pico, you will see that it says Author of the Week, and then you'll see her name, and it says Monica Brown. You click on that, and then you'll see some links. The links will take you to some read-alouds for her, or some interviews, or her website, so you can learn more about Monica. If you do that, share your thoughts with us. I love to always be talking to students about different books that they're reading. So our author of the week is Monica Brown. If you go to Flipgrid, you'll look for author of the week, and then you'll see her name. And that's how you'll know what is coming up or who our author is. Now let's go ahead and do our birthday shout outs. We always need a little bit of music. And so happy birthday, Isaiah. I think your birthday is today. So shout out. We have a couple of people who have birthdays on Halloween. So good for them. Happy birthday, Bichette. Happy birthday, Henry. Giancarlo, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Kevin and Mila and Eliana and Brianna. This week, we celebrate you. We are so happy that you are sharing your birthday with us as you go around the sun one more time. And happy birthday. Save us some cake. Send us some pictures. Let us know how you celebrated your birthday this year during our 2020 quarantine. And hopefully we can all go back to celebrating birthdays with families and friends, surrounded by family and friends. But until then, be safe. This week, I want to introduce you to Mrs. Segura. Many of you probably already know Mrs. Segura. Mrs. Segura has been teaching at Pio Pico for over 23 years old, for over 23 years. She just looks super young, and she's been here for 23 years. So it just boggled my mind, right? How amazing she looks and how great the work that she has been doing with us at Pio Pico. She graduated from Cal State Fullerton. She is married and has two young daughters. Together, they enjoy visiting new places and really enjoy family time. She has gone ziplining in Costa Rica, parasailing in Cancun. She's toured through the rainforest in Puerto Rico and has climbed to the top of the fountain at the Richard Nixon Library. She's very adventurous and very active. Mrs. Segura enjoys decorating for the holidays and entertaining her daughters. They love to create, dance, play, swim, but most of all, they enjoy laughing and being silly. One of their favorite places to go to is Disneyland. So hopefully when the quarantine is over, Mrs. Segura will be able to go with her family to Disneyland. So let's read what are Mrs. Segura's hopes and dreams for our students. So she looks forward to an exciting year of much learning and new adventure. She looks forward to getting to know each and every one of you and learning from you. She has a deep desire to learn from your authenticity. It is her hope that you guys together will build a community of trust and respect among each other. She hopes that together you can overcome struggles and fears. It is her hope that you will gain a desire to learn new things and accept mistakes. She hopes to spark curiosity and joy in learning. And she hopes that you will question doubts to increase your learning. As you guys begin your journey together in a different platform, she's excited to see all the things you will accomplish and create. It is her dream to see you succeed, and she wants to celebrate with you each and every day. Those are beautiful thoughts, Ms. Segura. Thank you for sharing it with us, our Pio Pico community. We're going to move on over to the lesson for the week. And the lesson for the week is that Pio Pico Palomas are safe. And so in order for you to have this into a context of what do I mean with Palomas are safe, I think it's important for you to understand that California has a tiered level of support for reopening our state, right? The California has 4 different levels. Level number 4 being minimal risk to people who are out in businesses. So as you go into different businesses or to different counties within California, you'll be able to know where they're located. So what you'll see is that tier number 1 means that COVID is widespread. It means it's really unhealthy for you and your family to be visiting each stores and different places within that community, right? Or that county, because it's done by county. And so if that's purple, so that's coded as purple as a tier 1. Basically, most non-essential indoor businesses are closed. And so that means if there's an adjusted case rate of more than 7%, or a positive rate of more than 8%. So the positive rate means people who go get a test for COVID. If from those people that are taking COVID tests, if 8% or more come out positive, then that would put you in the purple or widespread COVID in your county. We live in Orange County. So tier number 2 is substantial, and that's the red zone. That some non-essential indoor businesses operations are closed, but some are also now beginning to open. The adjusted case rate is between 4 to 7, and the positivity rate is between 5 to 8%. And we also have another measure that's called a healthy equity quartile, and that has to be between 5.3 or 8%. Level 3, or the orange level, is where some business operations can open with modifications, right? It's beginning to be a little bit safer. The adjusted case rate is between 1 to 3.9. The positivity rate is between 2 to 4.9%. And the healthy equity quartile is between 2.2 and 5.2%. Now, number 4 is that there's minimal COVID rates. So most businesses at this point can open with some modifications. The adjusted case rate is less than 1, and the positivity rate means that less than 2%. So as long as that less than 2% of the people who are testing for COVID come out positive, that means we're in a minimal 4, right? But when you look at Orange County, and so Orange County is this area right here, which is between LA and San Diego, what you notice is that we are in a tier 2. Where some non-essential indoor businesses operations are closed, right? Some of them are now beginning to reopen. When you see our adjusted case rate per 100,000, we're at 4.6, right? Which puts us at that tier 2. When you see our test positivity rate from the number of people who are taking tests, how many of them are coming out positive, we're at 3.2, which puts us at that moderate rate. But our health equity quartile positivity rate is at 5.6, which places us in the substantial. So when they average all of that together, Orange County as a whole is at the substantial rate. But I wanted us to look a little bit closer because one is how is California doing? The other one are how the different counties in California doing. And so now we want to look at the city within Orange County. And so of course we live in Santana. And so how are we doing here in Santana? And so what you can see is that here they use a slightly different color. I mean, purple is in use that kind of looks a little bit more like red, but red would be our tier 1 or COVID is widespread. And what I wanted you to look at, and this data is updated as 10/12, there is a lag of 7 days for the data to be calculated. So we're going based on the data from 10/12 because there's time that needs to be added to average out the COVID cases. And so what you see, our area code is 92703. So this is the area where POPICO is located. And what you notice is that a lot of our places are tier 1 widespread. So we want to come back. We want our students to come back in class. We want you in our school, but we want to make sure that when we do it, it's safe for you to come, right? And so with a widespread over 8% testing positive for COVID, that puts us at a high risk. So I'm asking for your help in making sure that we all stay safe, that we're in that 92703 area code. And for all of Santana, if we can bring it down so that we can be under 8% of people who are taking the COVID test are coming out negative, right? So we want to make sure that you're not testing positive and that you're safe. And so we know some of the things that we can do to stay safe and prevent the spread from COVID. So I'm asking you to remember these things, right? Because we want you to do it. So our palomas are safe. So what are you going to be doing? If you have to go to the grocery store, if you have to go to the doctor's appointment, make sure that you use your face mask every single time you're in public, right? So here's my face mask. Make sure that it's always on whenever you're in public. I also want you to remember that when you are talking to people, even when you're wearing your face mask, give yourself 6 feet of physical distance. What I tell most of our students when I see them is make sure that you put your hand out and then they put their hand out. That's how far away you should be from the next person. So you give yourself space, right? If you're going to the stores, normally they have markers on the floor that kind of give you an idea of what 6 feet is like. Make sure you don't come too close into contact with people. You're always wearing your mask when in public. And one of the other things that's really, really important is make sure that you wash your hands often. And when you're washing them, you have to wash them for at least 20 seconds. Many people talk about singing a favorite song, like a happy birthday song, whatever it is, just make sure that it's 20 seconds and you're rubbing, the palms, the top of your hands, in between your fingers, right? Your wrists, right? So make sure, I tell my children, pretend like they're doctors and they're going in for surgery. That's how well I want you to wash those hands every single time, right? That you're opening doors. Think about those touch points that a lot of people are touching every single time, like clockwork. Make sure that you're washing your hands. Also have some hand sanitizer next to you so that you're able to when you can't wash your hands with water and soap. The next best thing is hand sanitizer. And when you use a hand sanitizer, you're rubbing it as if you were washing your hands the exact same way. But some people start touching things before their hands are dry. So you have to keep on rubbing and wait for the hand sanitizer to dry. And then once it feels dry, then you're good to go and you're able to go ahead and begin touching different items. But remember, be very cautious about the high touch point areas, those areas where lots of people are touching. You want to keep your hands away from that. And if you have to touch those areas, like door handles, things like that, make sure that you wash your hands immediately after that or you use hand sanitizer, right? So remember, wear your face mask, wash your hands, because we do want to save lives and keep that physical distance of 6 feet. If you have any questions, I know the City of Santa Ana is providing more information on COVID rates in our city and what they're doing to make sure that we're keeping our residents safe. And then if you can see my face mask on my Bitmoji, it says vote. If you haven't voted, make sure that you vote. Your voice counts. And so election is coming up pretty soon, but you can do early voting. So make sure you get that taken care of as well. So last thing on our agenda for today is the weekly challenge. So congratulations to the people that won last week. So we have Melanie A., who responded to the weekly challenge, which is the importance of attendance. So Melanie, you win a $5 gift card to Starbucks. And also Louise D., you also win a $5 gift card to Starbucks. So congratulations to both of you. And from a gift from the price box, we have Haiti Robles and Leslie A. Congratulations. We're going to be visiting you this week and dropping off your prices with your certificate. So thank you for joining the challenge last week on attendance. You'll be seeing some of those videos. If you can definitely watch the videos by going to our Flipgrid, but we're also going to be putting some of those videos on social media since you guys did such a great job encouraging your fellow classmates to come to school on time every day. But this week, the weekly challenge is going to take place on October 29th. So I want to make sure that you get ready and you get geared up for October 29th. So children and adults will gather to learn, laugh, and read this year's campaign book for Read for the Record, which is called Evelyn Del Rey is Moving Away by Meg Medina. So I already have my copy. My copy is right over here. I have my copy in Spanish, which is Evelyn Del Rey Se Muda. So you'll have a link so that you can read the book online and you can listen to someone read aloud that book. But I've also linked on our Flipgrid lots of different activities that you can do with this book, as well as a virtual schedule of events that will be taking place. So you can do any of those activities. Your challenge is going to be on October 29th or after October 29th. So for this one, we'll have you, we won't announce a winner right away, but you'll have until Monday to complete so until the following Monday, which would be November 2nd, to complete the challenge, because the book will be available for you on a YouTube link on October 29th. But the goal would be for you to engage in activity for Evelyn Del Reyes is Moving Away, or for you to read the book and tell us your thoughts about the story, your favorite part of the story, right? And then you go to Flipgrid and you tell us your response. You can show us what you created or what you did with that book. And you can take a picture of your whole family, right? Reading the book together or watching the YouTube video. All of those would count. I want to caution you when you go to Flipgrid. So if you go to our flipgrid.com/PioPico SAUSD, you're going to notice that there's a lot of different threads or activities that are going on. Make sure that you read where it says weekly challenge, read for the record, because you're also going to see an author of the week, right? So make sure that you're clicking on weekly challenge and then you're answering or you're posting your comments to the weekly challenge, if that's what you're doing, or for the author of the week, if that's what you're responding to. So there's two different threads for each, two threads every week. So make sure that you're reading carefully and you know exactly what you're responding to. You should see a picture of the cover of the book, and it'll let you know that's the right place. So if you have any questions, please let me know. We're here to support you in any way we can. And that's the end of our Monday message. Again, remember, stay safe. We depend on you to make sure that our whole community continues to stay safe and we lower the COVID rate so we can all come back to school soon. Thank you, and I'll see you all soon virtually. Goodbye.